So how does today's ruling affect Arizona women, and what is their reaction to the monumental decision? Team 12's Bianca Bono sat down in our studios with a group of women with diverse opinions on the topic.
We wanted to bring together women with different opinions, different backgrounds, to have a thoughtful conversation around abortion that I think a lot of women are going to be having in the coming days, weeks, months. I know this topic is deeply personal, and I thought that might be a good place to start.
I have two children, a 15-year-old daughter and a 23-year-old son. I have had 2 miscarriages. The second one that I had was when my son was about 2.5. When I had that second miscarriage, we had to drive down to Phoenix. When we got out of the car, I saw protesters that I had to walk through with a dead fetus in my body that I had wanted, while people screamed in my face. And then years later, I had my daughter. They're 8 years apart. And when she was, I guess she was probably about 3, I was on birth control, and it was when the economy was tanking. I was a single mom. I did have a boyfriend at the time, but my birth control failed. And I had a medical abortion where you take a pill. I can't even imagine if I hadn't had that choice.
And my heart is like hearing you big time. I think the fundamental difference in what I anticipate with great anticipation, if Roe v. Wade isn't overturned, is that I see that little one as a baby, as a human being, like a precious little life from the moment of conception. I don't want someone to ever have to choose between their life and their baby's life, even though, for the last 49 and a half years, we've had that choice to be able to, in this country, to be able to choose to end that. And I personally, working in the pro-life movement professionally for a little bit, but otherwise just a lifelong advocate, I'm pro-woman and I'm pro-life.
As an immigrant to this country, I came here as a kid. I was 6 years old, the same age as my daughter is now. I think of this issue as taking me back generations to where I no longer have those rights that we always looked at Western countries and Western women as having.
I believe that life starts at conception, which is why I would never get an abortion. I don't think I would ever get an abortion. I've not been in a real position, right? It's all hearsay until you're actually in the position.
That's right.
But I also think about my daughter who's 14. I'm a junior high teacher. About every 5 years, I have an 8th grader end up pregnant. And my daughter's at that age, and I'm just curious, if she came home, I would hate for her to not have the choice.
To me, at that moment of conception, that's a unique human being. So I think that's the crux of it.
Yeah, and you can think that.
The difference, yeah.
You can think that,
right.
And I will never try to convince you otherwise.
Mm-hmm. It really boils down to a women's issue, not whether it's a baby or not. It's a women's issue.
You've criminalized providers and the clinics, and those things go away. And therefore, access to reproductive health care goes away.
For me, the question came up, would I ever want to see an abortion as criminalized? I'm okay with that.
I will do everything in my power to fight for the rights that we should have, so that my daughter is never in a position where she is forced to carry a child to term unless she makes that choice.
I certainly don't want to raise my 6-year-old daughter in a world where she has no choices. The conversation started to change into, there's a lot that's going to be in front of you as you grow up. There's a lot that you're going to have to fight for yourself.
We don't know a life, as you mentioned, without abortion in it. We all grew up, over past that time. And I think it's time that we allow mothers to get the support that they need, not just from the crisis pregnancy centers, but from our community, from us, even after the baby's born. And it's time to learn a new way.
I do not look forward to a United States where women are pushed back decades.